Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Ryan Hall. Some of you may have seen on my social media just the other day, I caught a pretty darn good one just messing around in my pond here at home. And I wanted to show you guys what I caught it on and kind of go in depth since nobody really talks about it, and I figured I'd spread some knowledge. I caught it on actually this exact bait right there. Caught it swimming a jig. Super easy, super simple. This is a Picasso Lures Straight Shooter Pro jig. This is a 3/8 ounce. It's my favorite size. For what we have out here. You know, we got a little bit deeper water than they have back east, so not afraid to get it down a little deep. But super easy, super compact. Basically all I do is throw it out and wind it back, just straight reel it. One of the ways I really like to fish it, especially when I'm around some really shallow cover, or these fish are a little more, they're hotter to the bait, I guess, is throw it out and keep it right under the surface and snapping it basically and just shaking it, and it gives it a little wake. And it's a really interesting bite because most of the time you see the fish come and wake right behind it. I've been catching a lot of fish on it, and it's a great bait to throw this time of year in the post spawn. One of the things I like about this Straight Shooter Pro jig, actually there's a lot I like, but number one, comes with a Gamakatsu hook. They're the best hooks on the market in my opinion, and if you can get, you know, jigs and tackle that have it that's already on it, you got to use it because it gives you such a big advantage than using just regular old factory stock hooks. One of the other features, I don't know if you can see it there, it doesn't have your standard weed guard on it. This has a 4-strand titanium weed guard. So it's still going to protect you against the brush. It's going to protect you against the grass. It's going to deflect nicely and come through it all really well. But it's extremely soft. It doesn't take a lot to get that to compress. So although it is protecting your bait and your hook and keeping your casts good, it's easy for that fish just to crunch and get a whole big mouthful of Gamakatsu on there. This is the bluegill color. It's one of my favorites. I like green pumpkin as well. But on this particular bait, and this is the one I was throwing just the other day to catch that big 7-pounder, I have on the back right here an X-Zone Lure Swammer in the 4-inch. It's a great bait. It's a little sturdier, so it holds on to the keeper better, and you can keep throwing it. You don't blow through a lot of baits, but it's got great action. It's pretty tight, but the shape of the jig head and the shape of the bait itself, they complement each other. So not only are you going to get side-to-side wobble from the tail, but you're going to get a roll and a shimmy from the jig itself. And so the whole bait is doing 2 different things at once, and it's super unique. So that's what I caught that big one on just the other day, was this exact bluegill color Straight Shooter Pro. This jig is one of those ones where it's pretty versatile as well. A lot of guys, they want flipping jigs and they want swim jigs, and they got 97 jigs for 97 things. This is one of the few jigs I've ever seen that I can actually swim and I can flip as well. So I have a handful of different colors of these. This one just happens to be the black and blue that I was flipping on the Delta earlier this year. And basically, like I said, comes through grass really well. It's got a flat bottom of the head, so it actually sits kind of at a 45 almost. And still titanium weed guard, Gamakatsu hook. This one's a little different. I like tipping this with an X-Zone Lures Rebel chunk. I don't know if you can see that. It's black and blue as well. I like matching the colors, but what makes this chunk so unique is it's subtle, it's soft, it's real low key when it's down in the water. But these claws on the back here, these big claws, they float. So when you get that bait on the bottom and it sits there, the claws are sitting up like antennas on and pinchers on that crawdad. So super unique jig. I recommend you guys check it out. That's the Straight Shooter Pro. It's designed by Hank Cherry. For those of you who don't know, he just won the Bassmaster Classic, so he doesn't suck. But that's his jig from Picasso Lures, and it's a real deal. So check him out, guys, especially for swimming a jig or flipping a jig, and I'll see you on the water.